Good morning. Hello, everyone. Or I guess technically it's afternoon. Welcome to Hero Arts Make Along. Today we're going to create with the April My Monthly Hero Kit. We're going to create 2 cards. One card, let me just make sure my mic is quiet over here because I'm getting an echo. There we go. We're going to create 2 cards, one card that features products from the Classic kit and one that features products that are included in the Premium kit. But if you have the Premium kit, you can create both cards. I'd like to try to make sure I have a card, at least for those who only had the Classic kit, that you can create. Hello, hello, welcome. I'm so happy this kit was restocked and was able. Oh, good. Yes, we did sell out of this kit, though. We did sell out of this one. So we do have every year we bring back. We kind of vote on your favorite kit and we bring back one. So this could be a kit that is brought back if you vote for it. That's always a fun thing that we do every year. Close to the end of the year, we'll bring that back. Welcome, David. That's cool. You're in an artist community. That's awesome. In New Mexico. How cool is that? New Mexico is beautiful. I'm in Arizona. My Hero Arts is based in California, but we do have some beautiful deserts here in Arizona as well. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my other camera and we will get started because I know people like to get going, and this is going to be a longer one because we are creating 2 cards. So let me switch over. There we go. I have a mouse here and I always forget. There we go. All right. So here are the 2 cards that we're creating today. This one right here is the one that features products that were included in the Premium kit. This one features products that are in the Classic, so therefore both kits, the Premium and the Classic April kit. Hello, hello. Okay. Let me see. So let me grab we're going to start with this one here because that's just how I started. I made this card first and I really loved the palette, and that's why I created this second card. So we're going to start here with this card today. And I did post up the instructions. I think I added them. I can't remember. I believe I added them to the description below on YouTube. I also just shared them in the comment section so you can check out the actual instructions. They're all printed out. So if you don't have those or you're watching this on replay, that's there as well. Okay, let's grab the April kit. And LA, nice. Hello from Florida. Nice. Okay, let me switch. I'm going to pop up on screen the April kit real quick because I actually don't have the entire kit. So I just want to show what the whole kit will look like. So this is the April kit. This is the Premium kit. You can see in the smaller square is the Classic. You get the 3 color layering stencils, a cover plate die, a sentiment clear set, and a smaller set of coordinating dies. We're going to be using those today and the stencils. And then from the Premium kit, we'll be using that large bird and flower kind of folk art stamp set. What I don't have is the ephemeral pack. I don't have that. So I won't be using that today, even though it's beautiful. That is not what I'm going to be using today. All right, let's switch back over. Cool. All right, so let's open up the kit here and pull out what we need for our first card, which again is featuring elements from the Premium kit. I'm going to be using mainly this stamp set here, which is really pretty. I loved the folk art theme of this release. Let's move my mouse out of the way here. Make a little bit of room. There we go. Grab my Misty. I have an A2 panel of sand cardstock. You could use craft cardstock. It's basically Hero Arts craft color cardstock, but it's a little bit lighter, which I love. I love this kind of softer tan or softer brown. It's really pretty. And I don't know if you can tell, there's actually like, it has that kind of natural paper look a little bit. There's texture in it's smooth on the surface, but there's like texture in the like paper fibers. That's what I'm talking about. It's such a good release, Jennifer, isn't it? The fox, yes, the doves. I love the folk art theme. I love that kind of whimsical look. You know what? I think in my instructions, I actually stamp the stamp and Copic color first. So we're actually gonna start with some white cardstock. We'll come back to that sand cardstock, but I'm gonna try to follow along with the try to follow my instructions that I made. I'm gonna use this bird right here, this flower there, and I'm gonna use a single flower right there. So just those 3 images. Pull them out. Now I am going to stamp these again after I Copic color them. That's my little trick for really getting some gorgeous, sharp, bold lines, especially when I'm not using black ink. Like today I'm going to be using brown. I'm going to be using Expresso. Sometimes with those inks that aren't typically used for Copic coloring, they'll lose some of their intensity when you Copic color a little bit over them. So if you stamp it again after you color it, it really makes everything look bold and crisp. So I'm going to do that. So you want to make sure, since I'm going to stamp them again, I'm going to make sure I leave these stamps in my MISTI. I don't move them, and also make sure that the panel is absolutely nestled into that lower right corner so I can get them lined up again. It's always a risk to do this, but I feel like the look is so much improved that I'm willing to take that risk. All right, Birdie, I might have you upside down. You know what? We're going to do you this way. We'll do you that way. I know my flowers are upside down, but I can color those upside down. Hello, Wendy. I'm glad you're here. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday. It's getting hot here in Arizona. What are we at? 84. I honestly can't complain about 84. That's not. So I'm going to now ink up with Expresso. I should probably show you what I'm doing. So I'm going to ink up with Expresso ink. This doesn't have to be the best stamp because I'm going to Copic color over it. I mean, I'm going to stamp it again later. I am also going to Copic color over it, but I will be stamping it again later. We actually cooled down a little bit today. 80, anything in the 80s is not bad. We had had our door open, and just till I started the live, I was like, probably should shut it because it's going to get hot. We're going to get up to the 90s. We were in the 90s yesterday. You know, it's not a perfect stamp. I don't know if you can see, it's a little broken. I'm going to stop there. I will stamp it again later. So again, leaving my images in my MISTI. And just put my MISTI aside. All right, so now we're going to Copic color. I do have my colors listed in the instructions, but I will go through them one by one as well. We're going to start, I always like to just kind of get the biggest areas done and out of the way first. So we're going to start with our purples, kind of like a more of a blue side, less warm, cooler purple. I have BV31 as my light, BV00 as my medium shade, and BV02 for my dark. And I'm going to start with my light, and I am not at all the best Copic colorer, but I do think it adds, I love the way Copics look, so is this what I start with? Let me make sure. We'll do a quick test. Sometimes they're hard to tell by the lids. You can't just change it. Yeah, that's what I did. I had it in the right order. Phew. I'm going to try to avoid those little dots as best I can. They're so tiny though. Nope, I colored one, so don't stress. Definitely want to avoid the flowers. So we're going to be using some lighter shades to color some of those yellows. About, I'd say 2/3 of the wing with that light purple. Again, this is BV31. Oh, I totally colored that flower. Oh well, I tried. And like I said, I'm definitely not the best Copic colorer. I do think these folk art images are a little bit more forgiving with they break up some of the solid areas with all those whimsical designs and patterns. That does help a little bit. This, though, is the hardest bit of Copic coloring that we're doing. Everything after this is much, much easier. All right, moving along. Color all the way up to the tail. And color the tip of the tail with our light purple. I love this color, isn't it pretty? It's very similar to Hero Art's Passion Flower ink, and we have Passion Flower cardstock, which I just love. And Hero Art's cardstocks, if you don't know, you should know. They are heavyweight, like not 80-pound. I'm talking 100 to 110, just kind of varies between cardstock color, making them so wonderful to work with. Okay, we're on to our medium shade, which is BV00. Coloring the whole thing. I'm not going to worry about that little. Coloring everything that's remaining white, except for the flowers and the leaves. Luckily, these colors are very light, so they're going to blend pretty easily. I might not even have to go back over with that light again. Sometimes I often have to do that when I'm, looks like my camera popped out and popped back in. I wonder why it did that. Let's switch back. Sorry. There we go. And I'm going to share, when I'm all done, a sneak peek of the May kit, because tomorrow the May release will be live. We'll have a blog hop. You'll see not only the classic and the premium kit, but you'll also see all the additional add-on products as well. Okay, moving on to my dark. This is BV02. We're going to do a bit up here on the wing. I am not going to really color the body. I like that contrast. So I'm just going to color the wing. Maybe a little bit down there. We will do just a tiny bit up here. All right, and I'm going to go back to medium and blend that out. That's a bigger jump in shades. But we are almost done with the hardest part, which was the wings and the body. This big section of any larger sections of Copic coloring I find harder because it's harder to get a smoother gradation over larger areas. And I guess I'll go a little bit back over with my lightest shade. And I definitely didn't do the best. I've colored in lots of flowers and lots of leaves. I tried to avoid it, but that's okay. Well, it'll get cleaned up a lot when we move to the colors that we're actually going to color those sections. Okay. This is the medium shade, just blending that out. Looks a little dark. But I love it. It looks so pretty. Look at that soft, beautiful gradation. Love those colors. Those are gorgeous. Okay. That's it for the purples. Now we're going to move on to, let's pick pinks. I have two pinks picked out, RV13 and RV25. So a light and a dark. And let's start coloring. I'm going to see if I can do better. Keeping my hand out of the picture. That's hard to do. We'll color this big flower here, the top of it with our lighter pink. So I'm going to start with the light. No gradations here. We are just going to color, flat color here. Tops of all our flowers. Then we'll move on to our darker shade. And color the bottom half. There we go. Cute. I love that combo. And then we have some dots to color in. I'm going to color in, actually not dots, we have these teeny little flowers. Let's see if I can hold them up. Right here, here, and here, which I did a terrible job avoiding. Just going to color those in. Perfect. It's coming together. Okay, now let's move to our yellow combo for our flowers. Our light is Y15, our dark is YR23. This is one of my favorite colors, this mustardy yellow. I use it a ton. We're going to start with the lighter Y15. And let's color the tops of these flowers on the wings. Go ahead and color the beak too while you're at it. Then we'll move to that larger single flower and color the big petals. Again, not going to do any gradations here, keeping it nice and flat. Then moving on to our darker shade, color the bottom half of the flowers. Oh, I love that color. And we'll color the smaller petals, the center, and we're going to color some dots. Those dots on the tail feathers. Oops. I think that's it. We can probably color, I don't even think I colored these little dots here on the wing, but I'm going to as well. They are so teeny tiny. You could just skip it, honestly. You're not going to see it, especially when we stamp it darker. All right, then we're going to move on to our greens for the leaves. Light is YG03, dark is YG63. Start with my light. This is just my way of coloring. I'm going to color the entire leaf with that. It looks very green. And I love the way this is going to look in the brown. It just, I think, is very fitting that the outline or the lines, I guess, of the image are in this dark brown. Still be high contrast because it still is a dark shade, but I feel as though it's more fitting with the folk art style. And it's something we forget to do. I forget about it all the time. It's like, oh, I don't always have to stamp my images in black. All right, moving on to the dark to add a little gradation. So we're doing a little gradation on these leaves. But I won't be blending it out because it's such a small little area. So kind of at where the leaf meets the stem, the base of the leaf, just adding a little bit of that darker green. So you guys use for markers, do you use Copic? Do you use alcohol markers? I know a lot of people have switched over to the Olo. I might be saying that wrong. But I can't make that plunge yet. I just have so many Copics. You know what, I had a good suggestion, somebody said, to just, instead of completely switching over, just fill in some of your missing colors. Like I feel like I don't have enough olive greens or the right shade of pinks yet. So I'm gonna look at Olos for those and see if they have some shades that I'm not getting in Copics. I thought that was a really good suggestion. I'll blend out a tiny bit. That one looked a little harsh. Went back to my light shade and just blended out a tiny bit here and there on some of the leaves. That transition between the dark and the light, just color over that a little bit, and that kind of helps that blend. All right, I think we're done. The last thing is a little tiny bit of tan. This is E3030. I can't get it to focus. There it is. We're gonna add a little shadow, like the underside of his head and side of the wings, kind of those white parts. And that's it. Kind of adds a little more depth. I love it. Okay, it looks so pretty, but it looks a little, because the outline is not stamped really solid yet, it doesn't look as clean and crisp as it's going to look once we stamp it. So I'm gonna grab my Misty, where I didn't move my stamps, so everything should line up again. Fingers crossed. Oh, this is always the scary part. I do think it's worth it. Pop that in, make sure it's definitely nestled in that corner. Grab my Expresso ink. And here's where I'm going to really ink these up and stamp these a couple of times. All right. I like to use the scrubber block as a chucky tool. Oh yeah, that helped it tremendously. Really cleaned it up. I think I'll just stamp it one more time. It's amazing the difference. Looks so good. And again, the only reason I do this is I've just noticed my colors get a little bit lighter. My outlines are a little lighter after I Copic color. And that is it. Look at how beautiful it turned out. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. How bold and crisp the line is. So pretty. Oh, I love it. All right. Okay, we're gonna give these a quick clean. And now we're gonna make that background. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and remove them. We're going to use a lot of images now to stamp that background panel. Basically, almost every image included in this bird and flower stamp set. So we're going to grab that A2 panel sand cardstock. This is just a great thing to keep in mind for your backgrounds when you have your clear stamp sets. It's just tone on tone stamping, very simple, but it's a way to kind of reduce the amount of coloring you have to do. You're filling in your background and the only coloring you're doing is just a couple images. So it's a really great kind of design idea to keep in your tool belt. Did I use this? I even used this one. I used everything that's basically a little tinted. So the 3 images we just stamped and everything else except for the sentiments and this kind of corner greenery. And we'll just kind of arrange them. Now there's a trick to do this. There is a trick. I'm debating whether to show it to you because I don't love it because it does create a pattern, but it does make stamping this a lot easier. I'll show it to you. So the way I actually did the card is I just arranged the images over my panel, stamped them, then, oops, I'm so sorry. I'm so gestural with my hands. Stamped them, then arranged them again in a different spot, stamped them, you know, and basically repeated that pattern till everything, or those steps, till everything was, till this entire panel was stamped. But there's a kind of a faster way, easier way. The only problem is it does kind of create symmetry, and you might notice a pattern. And to do that, that's what I'll do today, just to show you. What's helpful when you're doing that is you have a grid, an acetate grid or something, just so you know what the halfway point of your, so that's halfway point of your card base or your card front. We'll do it like that. And you just arrange your images. Where's my little flower? My single flower. Oh, here it is. It's like, I don't want to lose you. I might have to stamp a couple again, just because I have images coming off the edge here and none coming off of the edge here, and that doesn't always look so great. Looks a little inconsistent. But for the most part, this will save us a lot of time. All right, so they're arranged on the upper half of my card front. We'll grab the Misty, pick them up. All right, put that aside. And we're gonna ink these up in, like I said, kind of a tone-on-tone look. Instead of using, you could use my camera. Sorry, guys, it keeps losing connection. I'm glad I'm not losing it. All right, mouse. Mouse is panicking. Okay, we'll do it a different way. There we go. Instead of using like a watermark ink, I prefer a dye ink because it dries faster. So I pick a dye ink that's just basically the same tone. I mean, we're using sand cardstock. Here Art's made easy. We're using sand cardstock, so we're using sand ink. It's just a shade darker than the cardstock, and especially when we stamp it multiple times. There we go. I'm going to ink it up and stamp it again. I'll probably end up stamping this like 3 to 4 times just to get it as dark as I want. We're in stamping mode. Gotta. Gotta get the muscles out. Oh yeah. Look at how pretty it's starting to look. Oh, I'm loving it. Okay, so just think I have to stamp the birds a couple more times and then we're there. Okay. I'm gonna do it one more time. All right. So now that we've stamped this half, we're basically gonna rotate this around and we'll stamp the other half. So that's a real quick way to kind of cover the background. It will be a little mirrored. I guess mirrored isn't the right, it is mirrored, right? What's the right word? It's not symmetrical. But because we were only halfway, you can see I'm not in danger of anything overlapping. This is kind of a pattern stamping technique. And you could take advantage of the fact that it would be mirrored or symmetrical. It's not symmetrical though, right? It's not. But have like a specific design. All right, almost there. A couple more times. I like to go a little bit darker just because it's going to soften as it dries. Probably one more time. I think this guy needs one more. Okay, and that's pretty much our background stamp. Now we can fill in some of the open areas. Clean my stamps real quick. You could stamp over here. Let's pull out, what do we want? Let's get some of these stamps off. How are we doing on time? Oh, it's only 30 minutes. Not too bad. Getting through this pretty quick, actually. All right. So let's see, what do I want to put here? Let's put this one there like that. And I'm gonna move it up to this corner so that I can stamp off the edge there. We'll grab that one. All right. Just gonna stamp here, flip, stamp the other side, and then we will be done with our background. Just filling in a little bit of those open space. I just want images to come off the edge here like they did on this half. Oh, that makes it look so much better. So I think I stamped this like 4 or 5 times. I kind of make a mental note of how many times I stamp it so I can be consistent with these additional images. That looks good. Okay, and then just gonna rotate. Look at how beautiful it's looking. Oh my gosh, I love it. Rotate it, and it's gonna fill in those spots, just like, see? just like we kind of how we did the top half and then rotated it and did the bottom half. A lot faster than rearranging your stamps multiple times to fill in the space. Basically, we only had to rearrange our stamps twice, and that's including these smaller stamps, just positioning them instead of like 4 times to do the whole, maybe even more than that, whole card front. Because rearranging your stamps, cleaning them, and then rearranging them is kind of a pain. All right, there it is. It looks so good. I love it. All right, we're gonna fill in now. This is where, this is kind of optional. So I'm gonna fill in the negative space. I felt like it was a little busy, and to kind of tone down the contrast between our, let me put this stuff away. To tone down that contrast between the cardstock and the stamped images, I'm going to fill in the negative space with a similar tone marker. This is totally optional. You don't have to do this because it will take some time. But we're going to add, let's grab the original card here so you can see. We're going to add all these little spots or dots in the negative space. It's almost like creating your own pattern paper. But it does kind of tone down the contrast between the cardstock and those stamped images. And it just becomes this beautiful, lovely texture that is in the background and similar line quality and style to our focal point images. So the marker I'm using is E43. And we're just going to add some little dots. In that negative space. I'm not going to color in like the leaves of the flowers, just that negative space. We should time me and see how long it's going to take. We're at 38, I mean. Because I never time myself on some of these things. I'm like, I wonder how long that actually takes to do. Because it's easy, you just kind of go, well, it's not that bad, right? Well, we'll see. I don't do this a lot, but again, it's one of those kind of good design tricks to have in your tool belt. Like, oh, this is a good idea for filling in the negative space between images. And again, this is optional. You do not have to do this if this looks like too much work. So here, this flower here, I'm not filling in between all those little petals. I'll go around it, treat it like a large flower itself. Those petals are part of a larger flower. This is kind of like, for me, it's peaceful. A lot less stressful than coloring. Sometimes I stress about coloring. I think it's because I'm just not sure about my color choices. A lot of times I'll pick colors and I'll be like, oh, this is going to look great. And then the combo I just don't like. Coloring itself is not too stressful, but I just don't like I'm not so sure about my color choices. But this, I feel, is very almost meditative. Has anybody ever done any those mandalas? One time we painted some rocks and did those mandalas on top, and I loved that project. I want to do that again. That was very fun and relaxing. And there's tools you can buy to make like perfect circles. And they're really simple. They're just like, I use like the back of a paintbrush is what I used when I did mine. I didn't have the actual tools, which worked fine. And I got my mom a kit with those tools to try, and I've been dying to give that a try. Those circle making tools. They just look so fun. We're chugging along here. I think we're almost halfway, maybe even a little bit past. Maybe we've gone past halfway already. You can see how it's really filling in that space. It looks so pretty. And just simple little dots. Just working my way around. You can see I'm not being very precious about my dot making or pattern making here. I sometimes will do 2 dots on top of each other or touching. So this is definitely not something you have to stress about doing perfect in any way. What are we at? 42. Okay. So if we get to 48, we've done 10 minutes. That's not bad. 10 minutes on making dots. Oops. Well, that was a bigger one. That's okay. The center is a big spot. We probably should have stamped something in there. Most of it's going to be covered by our bird and flowers, though, for our focal point. All right. Now I actually have to be done at 48. That I might not be able to do. I might not be done at 48. Oh, 4 more minutes. Got this. So this weekend, or Friday, I should say, my husband and I had a date night, and we went to, here in Arizona, we have this thing called First Friday. It's been around since I was in college. Phoenix, downtown, has all these galleries that have like free exhibits that you can go see, and a lot of like street vendors, or people will have like little booths with tables set up, and they'll be selling different art, different kind of crafts. But my husband and I used to go when we were in college. We were both art majors, so we'd see a lot of student work, and it was fun to see. No worries. Whew, we're done. And at 45. But we went back for the first time in like 20 years. And it's so different now. Hardly any galleries, a bunch of people selling things, mostly people selling things, actually. A lot of like protesting and like not necessarily protest. There is some protest, but people like yelling from loud mics and stuff. It was very different. Still fun to go see, but it has changed a lot. All right, now we're ready to die cut. We've got our background panel done. We have our images colored. I'm gonna grab the coordinating dies. Let's just start with our images. Oh, my arm is so sore too. I lifted some weights this week and I can barely extend my arm all the way. It hurts every time I do that. Let's grab our flowers. Oh good, I got scared there. I lost a die. I just love the way these look. They look so good. Love the color palette. We'll line these up. I cut them out. But other than that, that's all we've done this weekend. I've kind of been working because we have a release tomorrow. So I have a video that's going to be coming out soon for our May kit. All right, how do you go on, huh? Like that. There we go. Just keep kind of spinning until it lines up. All right. And I'm going to die cut this out. I love the dies. They cut so close. So great. So you have just a beautiful small white border. Die cutting is honestly what got me hooked, really hooked on card making, I think. I had a Cricut and it just didn't, y'all, if you have a Cricut, you know, it just I didn't enjoy working with it. Didn't cut really well. Now it's a long time. Maybe they improved. But there's definitely no solution for sentiments. And besides cutting a big sentiment, you couldn't have a small one. I don't know. And then I discovered dies. And oh, game changer. I love them. All right, we're gonna cut out. These are the arches. This is the one thing I'm using that's not included in the kits. I don't remember what one I used. Where's my card? Here it is. My arm, so sore. I think I used the 4th or the 5th largest. Okay, so that's the 5th largest. I'll kind of center this and die cut this out. Here's my snorty cat. She's a exotic, so she's like a pug. You know how pugs have short profiles for their face, little snouts. So she just drinks some water. So whenever she drinks some water, she has to clear her nose a little bit afterwards. Cute. Yeah, Michelle, I agree with you better. Michelle says, I started card making with the Cricut. Me too, Michelle. In 2021, but found I like dies better. Just looks better. I agree. That's my story exactly. Just, I think I started in like 2012. I still have my Cricut though. I still use it. But I like dies. They cut better, and I love not having to use technology. I mean, I had a Cricut back when they had cartridges, like a Nintendo. And you would pop the cartridge in, and that's how you had the different fonts and different images. And then I got a Gypsy. And I don't think many of you will know what that is, but a Gypsy was like a device that stored all your cartridges, so you no longer needed your cartridges anymore. You could just pull up your cartridge saved on this Gypsy. I liked that a lot. And then they moved to the all online, and that's where they lost me. I didn't like having to go online. I don't know why. Hello, welcome. All right, so we have our die cut panel, our images. We have to stamp our sentiment. So you can grab your Misty here again. Pop it in. You could glue this to your card base too first. I'm just going to do it in here. I think I have on my instructions that I glued it to the card base first, but it doesn't actually matter at all. Oh, my arm is so sore. Okay, grab our stamp set. I use the Hope Your Day is as Beautiful as You Are, but any sentiment actually would work. I'm going to quickly arrange my die cuts so I have a sense of where I want my sentiment to go, or a better sense of where it should be. We have our die cuts something like that. Oh my gosh, they're so pretty. And then our sentiment will go underneath. Try to get it centered. It's a little tricky to center this because it's not symmetrical. But in a way that's kind of good because it hides if you're not symmetrical. All right, we're gonna move these out of the way. I think that looks good. I just want it to be straight. That's my concern as well. Okay, I think that's straight. Right? The online stuff, right? It was just, they lost me. I was like, I don't want to, like, part of my joy of crafting is not having tech. That's part of the joy for me. It's working with your hands, and it's all like, you know, we're using things, but we're not using technology. It's not as abstract. Thank you, Beth. Oops, I'm a little bit worried about that panel. That has to stay inside there. There we go. Okay, I'm inking this up in Expresso, so we just used 2 browns. We used sand for the background and Expresso for our sentiment and our outline for our images. We'll stamp this a couple of times to make it nice and dark. We are almost done with card 1, which was, believe it or not, the more time consuming of the 2, and we did it in an hour, maybe even a little less because I talked a little bit before we got started. Just a tiny bit though. I like to kind of get things going right away. All right, look at how good it looks. Oh my gosh, I love it. It's so pretty. All right, I have a card base made out of sand cardstock. You could put this on a white card base. In fact, I really toiled over whether I should just say white card base in the instructions, because that's probably what I would normally do, but I know, because I like to hoard my Hero Arts cardstock because I love it so much and I don't want to run out. But you have a better look, honestly, if you do adhere it to a sand cardstock. So I bit the bullet and use my precious sand cardstock, which I love so much. I'm going to line up that front panel with my card base. So line those up. Then I'll just use a piece of tape to kind of hold it down for a second. And then I'm going to add some liquid glue to the back side of our little arch. It's shifting on me. Maybe I should just hold it. I'll just hold it instead. Get it lined up again. And pop that in the negative space. Perfect. Take that off. Now we'll add foam adhesive to the back side of our panel. Grab some. Trying to use these last bits up. All right, I'll grab my tweezers. That's the easiest way I found to remove the backing on these foam adhesives. Kind of stab and grab. That sounds terrible, doesn't it? But that's what works. Kind of stab the foam part, bend it back, and then I can lift up. I don't know about you guys. I have a hard time with these backings sometimes, so this was a game changer for me to learn the stab and grab. All right. Line this up. Kind of like that eclipse effect. So cool. Oh my gosh, I love it. And then lastly, we have our images. Grab some more of that foam adhesive. I'm just going to avoid adding it behind the beak, because that's where I'm going to nestle these flowers in. Here goes the church bells. It's 1 o'clock. Get a little stab and grab. Ooh. There we go. Okay, let's pop these images in. to look at my original here for how to arrange this. We get pretty darn close to the edge on the right. I think that's great. Oh, I love it. It turned out so good. How pretty. I'm glad I did that pattern stamping because I don't think, like I said on my first one here, and they don't even line up because this card was went through several evolutions to get to this finished card. So that's why the images don't match, because I ended up stamping this background twice, which means I did the dots twice. Oh, crazy, right? This one turned out so much better. I love the way it looks, much easier. And the eclipse really was working on this card. It looks so good. Love it. Better than this one, I think. So cute. Cool. Okay, on to card 2. So this next card is featuring the dies and the layering stencils, the color layering stencils from the classic, which also premium kit. So we're going to start actually by die cutting our butterflies and leaves out. So let's grab those dies from the kit. I clean up here. Here they are. I put mine in a little Hero Arts envelope with the magnets so I wouldn't lose anything, because I did lose this for a little while. I lost that die. Ooh, I'm really bad about that. I'm going to die cut every one of our butterflies, all of them. I might not use all of them, but I'm going to die cut them all out. So there's a lot of butterflies. And then this leaf here, this big leaf. So we're going to use all of those images. Let's see if we can't get them all onto this scrap that we used for the first card, this scrap of white cardstock. Try to get these bigger ones in first. Oh yeah, we are going to fit all of these, no problem. And I have to have a little bit of space because we're going to die cut that leaf out a second time. Okay, there's all of our butterflies. Down on our panel, our leaf as well, our leaf sprig probably is a better way to describe it. Die cut these out. Some did not cut. Bummer. I probably should have ran it through a couple of times. Okay, I'm going to nestle them back in and die cut some of these again. Sometimes you run into that, not all of them cutting when you have multiple dies. And I was being cut in corners and not taping them. I don't like to tape dies. If I can avoid taping dies, I'll do it. And I have a magnetic plate as well, but it's pretty warped. Okay, we used you. Got some hairs in here. That's what I get for trying to cut a corner. All right, just a couple more to go. Now I'll just run this through a couple of times and they'll definitely cut. Okay. I'm going to turn my paper this way now and run it through just to be extra sure it cuts, because I don't want to have to do this again. All right, there we are. Oh yeah, definitely cut through this time. I can see from the back side all of the edges. And we're going to go ahead and pop these dies right back onto the magnet so we don't lose them. Does your die cutting machine have a bunch of tape stuck to it? Like mine does? Every once in a while I'll have to clean it because it just looks so terrible. And I have to like put my die cutting machine on camera, but I'll use those pieces of paper or those that tape over and over and over again. We got one that's kind of stuck. There we go. How's our leaf? Still didn't cut all the way. How rude. All right, we got to cut the leaf out again. And this little butterfly. I probably should have my metal. I had my metal shim underneath. I probably should grab that again. I think you reuse yours too. I used to stick to matte, but then I have them stuck to me. Yep. Yes, I found it's the best place. Yep, exactly, Tracy. Yep, Tracy Beth, my people. All right, hopefully. I think my poor die cutting machine is losing some of its like pressure. It's been having problems die cutting lately. Need to get my Spellbinders die cutting machine back out. This one I'm using the Revolution by We Are Memory Crafts. And I like it because it's a little, just doesn't take as much effort, energy to use, you know, physical energy. But as you can see, it doesn't have that pressure. So that's a bit of a bummer. All right, we're gonna die cut this leaf a second time. Let's make sure where I die cut it that I'm actually gonna cut it out. it deep. I might have cut that first time. And that was the other, using all the other dies too at the same time. Made it harder to cut, yeah. This is, I think, cut out mostly. Good enough. We make it work. Ooh. And I'll just grab a craft knife to get the last little bit. All right, there we go. All right, phew, that was harder than expected. Now we got all our die cuts. We got 2 of our leaves. And a whole mess of little baby butterflies. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to color these. We're going to ink blend over them. We're going to use the color layering stencils included in the kit. Sometimes I add cardstock. Yes, Beth, I was thinking the same thing. I should add, I had a metal mat, a metal shim. There we go, that's the right word. A metal shim underneath earlier. And I took it out for some reason, and I think I needed it back. But honestly, what I've been using mostly for die cutting is I have an electric die cutting machine, and I just moved it off my table. I use that mostly, and I just moved it off my table just because I felt like it was a little too noisy for the live, but that would have probably die cut these no problem. I have so many die cutting machines. You don't need as many as I have, but they definitely have different things that they're good for. I used to only have the little Cricut, which I still have, actually. I still like it. I like it for cutting craft foam. The Cuttlebug, I still have that. All right, there's all of our butterflies. Okay, so what you're going to need now is the stencils. That's just, I was saying, the color layering stencils from the kit. Oh, my arm, it hurts so bad. Okay, these guys here. There's 3 of them. You'll also need something sticky is helpful, like a misty sticky mat. I'm going to use Waffle Flowers grip mat. That's what I'm going to use. That makes it a little bit easier. Not essential. You don't have to have it, but it does make it a little bit easier to ink blend these die cuts because they're so small and they're going to want to slip and slide and move on you. You could also use the negative. This. You can use this, pop them inside, and use the negative to help you hold your die cuts in place while you're ink blending. That's an option as well. All right, so I got my sticky mat here. I'm just gonna throw everything on the floor. Well, let's start with our purple combo. So I'm gonna use the big butterfly. I'll place him down here. Let's see, we'll put the butterflies out over here on the side so you can follow along. Those 2, those 3 are kind of the same size. We got a teeny one. We should have 2 teeny ones. There we go. We got 2 teeny ones. 2 teeny ones. My face is covering it. Okay, we'll move those down. All right, there's our butterflies. I've got the big one here. I'll put the leaves up there. And I want this one here. It's got very pointy, medium, smaller, medium, pointy wings. And let's do one of our smaller butterflies. We'll do the bigger of the 2 small ones. Okay, just place them down. What I did I actually did a video for Hero Arts where I kind of did the same thing. Let me grab this card here because I have it. I made this card here in the video, and I lined up the layering. I basically did what we're doing right now. But I lined up the die cuts to the stencils. I'm not going to do that today. I'm not going to mess around with that. But if you want to see the video of how I did that, that's on the channel, so you can check that out. Look for that card as the thumbnail and you'll find it. So we're actually not going to use stencil 1 at all. We don't need to, because it's basically the base for all of our butterflies. So I'm going to put that aside. And we'll grab stencil 2. You can see here they're numbered 2. We'll use that in a second. We're going to start with coloring these die cuts. Just doing a very light blend with our base color, which is going to be Passion Flower. And emphasis really on the light. We want it to be very soft. So I'm going to grab my blending brush. Maybe. Where did they go? Where did my blending brush go? Oh, I think I found them. They're hiding. Yeah. I'm going to load up. Even though we want a light blend, it seems backwards, but we want to load up. I have this there's some scrap cardstock here somewhere. Do I have some paper? I want to tap off the excess. So kind of tap off the excess. That's great. That's all you need to do. And then I'm just going to do a soft blend. Very soft. It's very light. It probably won't even really look like I added any color to this on camera. Ooh, my poor rickety table. I'm working on an antique table. Actually, I'm a dining room crafter, if you don't know. So I work on my dining room table, and it's old. It's from the 50s. Maybe even older than that. And it just doesn't like me when I ink blend. All right, now we're going to grab the stencil, and I'm going to start with the big butterfly because he's easy to find. It's this guy right here. We're going to line it up with the die cut. Like that. And then we'll do a heavier blend with the same ink. So a little bit heavier. Since we were so light before, not going to take much more to get the contrast and get this to show up. Ta-da! Okay, now the other butterfly, this medium one, is this butterfly right here with the pointy wings. So I'll line this up. I've got it memorized now, but when I was doing this before, I was looking at this panel, this card here, to kind of help me identify which butterfly die cut goes to what area of the stencil. So I've got it kind of memorized now, but that's what I did before. This little guy, he's a smaller one of the two, or he's the larger of the two. He's this one up here. So we'll take our stencil, line it up. All right, there we go. Now we have a second stencil, or actually the third stencil, stencil number 3, and do the same thing. Aren't they beautiful, Beth? They're so pretty. Line up that pattern to the butterfly. And I'm going to do really heavy-handed with our Passion Flower now. Basically as dark as I can go. Oops, things have fallen. And after I do that, we're going to do two combo inks. I'm going to go with cornflower on top. I found that you can only take that passion flower so dark. It's a very light purple. You can't really make it as dark as you need to get the contrast between the three purples to make three different shades. So by introducing a new color, cornflower, on top, we're going to slightly change the tone of this a little bit, and it's going to make a new shade. I'm going to do just a tiny bit of cornflower. And the reason why I use this blue, this cornflower, just because there's not a color that's a purple in the Hero Arts line, even though there's tons of purples, but there's not one that's just a step darker than the passion flower. They're all a lot warmer. And I really wanted this cool blue or cool purple. Just going over with a little bit of that cornflower. That's it. Let's take it off and reveal. Perfect. Look at how pretty it looks. Oh my gosh, I love it. All right, now we're going to line up do the same thing for the different butterflies. So this is the one we're going to line up to this medium butterfly. Start again first with the passion flower, that purple. Make it as dark as we can. Then the cornflower. A little bit of that on top. So pretty. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Love these stencils. Now we're on to this butterfly up here. A little bit of, I should have started with my lighter color. I messed up. Oh well. We'll do that next. Next we'll do yellows. And there we go. We're done. Look at how beautiful. The reason why I should have started with my lighter colors because I am now going to have to clean my stencils just to make sure I don't get any purple, pick up any of the purple that's still on the stencil when I ink blend with the yellows. I wouldn't have to have worried about that so much if I had started with a light and worked up to darker shades. But I love them. They are beautiful. Aren't they so pretty? Oh my gosh, I love them. Okay, I'm gonna put that aside. Okay, those are the done butterflies. I'm doing a quick clean of my stencils. I just don't want to accidentally contaminate. I'm using alcohol to clean my stencils. Normally, I would use Hero Arts Ultra Clean. I love that cleaning product, but they're out of stock and I can't get any more. So I'm using, what am I using? 91% alcohol. And does a good job of getting this ink off the stencil. Because Hero Arts inks are awesome, and but they do stick. Like, what makes them awesome is also what makes them difficult to kind of remove off of your stencils and your stamps, as they kind of stick a little bit to the stamp or stencil. So using that alcohol kind of helps to actually get it completely off the stencil. Water won't do it alone. All right, let's grab what we're going to use for the yellow butterflies. We're going to do this guy here. He's kind of rounded, medium one. This butterfly here with the kind of ruffly wings. And then we're going to move on to this one here. Not the smallest, and smaller than this medium one. I don't know if that helps. Doesn't really matter, but if you're doing the same die cuts that I'm doing, it might be easier to follow along because I'm pointing out the area that the stencil coordinates with that die cut. All right. For these, we're moving on to the yellows. I'm going to use Dandelion as our light, spicy mustard, one of my favorites. If you couldn't tell, I like warm yellows. Spicy mustard for our dark. Grab my blending brushes. And we'll start with our Dandelion and just do a base. Do a light blend of yellow over. And light, again, emphasis on light, just like we did with the purple butterflies. We did a very light blend of the passion flower. We're going to do a light blend of the Dandelion. We want to be able to build up contrast, so we can't go real dark right away, otherwise we'll have a real hard time getting that contrast and seeing all the details. But we also don't want white butterflies. We do want them slightly colored. Okay, moving on to stencil number 2. This ruffly butterfly is this one in the lower right, or no, that's left, Shannon. Lower left corner. We'll line that up and ink blend it with Dandelion. And you can be heavy-handed with the Dandelion now. Let's get these blending brushes out of the way. Perfect. Already looking so good. I call these butterflies, when they look done, they look like bananas. These are my banana butterflies. All right, this butterfly here is this one up here. So line that up. And again, I've got this kind of memorized, but I always look back at one of my cards that I did and go, okay, that's that die cut. And that's how I figure out what section of the stencil I need. That's why it's always good when you get a color layering stencil set. And I'm kind of talking to myself mostly because I don't like to do this. I hate feeling like I'm wasting paper, but I need to get over that because I'm not wasting paper. This butterfly is this one right here. But to just kind of, when you get a color layering set, just grab some cardstock and ink blend those 3 layers. Don't worry about having to turn it into a card or anything. Just have that as a guide. It's just like getting yourself familiar with how the stencil works, how the layers line up. And even if you don't use it, it's a good panel to kind of store with your stencils later as a reference. All right, we're on stencil number 3. We'll start with this one here, just this butterfly there. Line it up. This one will be our spicy mustard. Perfect. We'll move up to this butterfly here. That one is these right here. Let's see, you can line up, you can see how it goes. And then, oh, thank you. Yeah, you've got to get some time in. You got to get some time to your crafty space for sure. I know it's hard sometimes. I've been really bad about being on top of the dishes and the laundry. So right now I have a pile of dishes, not too bad. The dishes are not so bad, but I have 3 baskets full of laundry that I have to fold and put away. But no, the kids can dig in there, right? They can dig in there and get the stuff they need out. I don't have to do that. All right. Do I need to clean my stencil? I'm going to say no. I'm going to try not to. If you want to be careful, clean your stencil. But if you're going to be like me, a little lazy, you can probably make it work. All right, I'm going to put down my last 3 butterflies. So it should be easy to know which is left. And we'll start by doing a light blend with cotton candy first. Ooh, I have glitter or foil paper I have to use every section to feel like I'm not wasting. Yep, I agree. I have to use, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so gestural with my hands. Ooh, I'll finish with Martha Stewart paper, punch in butterfly, seahorses, or spring. Ooh, I love that idea. Isn't it great to see? I love, Angie, that's what I love seeing is what people do with the same products. I love it. That for our stamp-alongs, which, by the way, I'm going to share a little bit of stamp-along information at the end of this live or make-along. But the stamp-along, our summer stamp-along is coming and will be open for your purchase or ticket purchase or whatever, however you want to say it, tomorrow as well. But the stamp-along, everybody, we don't require you. So stamp-along is like a set of online classes. Last time we had Jennifer McGuire and Christina Werner teaching. We also had a bunch of people from our creative team. It was an awesome, our spring stamp-along. But we don't require you. We make a bundle of products that the teachers are going to be using, but you don't have to use those products to participate in the stamp-along. In fact, we really encourage you to use what you have. I love seeing what the substitutes people make for the products that we use in the stamp-along and the cards that they share. I just love how they take the techniques and apply it with different products. I love seeing it. It's so fun. So they share in our albums on the Facebook group, and it's just, I love the event. All right, so here we're on to stencil number 2. Actually, I put away that cotton candy too early. I'm gonna need it again. And let's start with this guy here. He's easy. He's this lower right butterfly. Line him up. He barely fits. That barely fits on there. And we're going to do cotton candy, but more heavy-handed this time. Just like that. Yeah, laundry, man. I hate doing laundry. I agree. It's the worst. It's folding. It's so much time to fold those clothes up, and I don't know if you have kids like mine. They seem to get unfolded very, very quickly. Okay, this little butterfly here is like right in the center. I think I did it. I don't think I had to clean my stamp or my stencil. Love that. And this little butterfly, he's way down here. He's just above that pink one the bigger pink one we did. All right, there we go. Now we're on to stencil number 3. We're switching to another color because we kind of stretched our light color or our cotton candy as far as we can in range. Oh, Beth. Oh, well, I'm glad you can keep watching. We do Sunday dinner too at my mom's, but it's early still. In fact, we haven't had lunch yet. So my girls are probably getting hungry. They had a late breakfast, so I'm sure they're not starving, but I do need to get some lunch out to them soon. Okay, we're using Azalea. This is a really dark kind of pink. I love this shade. Oh my gosh, look at how pretty he looks. So good. All right, this middle butterfly goes with our medium one. This one is like moons on it. Perfect. And then we have our last little guy. He's the one right here. All right, we are done with our butterflies. We have one more bit of ink blending to go, and that's the leaves. Now the leaves are a little bit different. So I want mirrored leaves. This leaf is fine, but you can see that's not quite going in the right direction. I want it to be this way. So I'm going to flip it over. Oh, you're still working on the last one? I know they're good when you can go to them, right? Like when you can do them live, it's easier to get to keep up. Yeah, the next one's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be a shorter one next one, but it's gonna be a special Hero Arts birthday themed one, so it's very cool. And I can show you the teachers today and the bundle. So I'm flipping that over. I'll do that one more time to kind of show you what I'm doing. Here it is. Flipping the die cut over, so I'm using the back side. No one will know. No one's gonna know. I'm gonna ink blend them with Kiwi first. Probably separate them a little bit more. And I picked these colors because these were the similar colors to what I was using on my first card with my Copics. Because I really liked that palette. I'm actually done with Kiwi. Now we're going to move on to a darker. Yeah, I'm sorry, Christopher. The kit sold out. I'm sorry. The darker I'm using is Forever Green. There could be a chance it comes back, Christopher, but it won't be for a while. If it comes back, it has to be voted in. Just going to do a little bit of this Forever Green at the bottom. It has to be voted in as like the top kit. So what Hero Arts does is towards the end of the year, we kind of put a poll out there and ask, what was your favorite kit over the year? And people vote. And I wouldn't be surprised if April was one of the favorites. And then that kit we bring back and you can purchase it again. So there is a chance maybe, but unfortunately it won't be for quite a while. So I'm sorry, this one sold out. All right, we're gonna grab stencil 3. That's the only one we're gonna use. Line up basically the veins of the leaves. Can I get this better? I think my poor leaves went through a rough road trying to get out of when I tried to get them out of the negative when I was die cutting them. So it's not lining up as nicely as I'd like. There we go. That looks lined up. Grab that Forever Green, which I put away, of course. I really should clean my stencil, but I'm being lazy. This is such a dark green, so if it does pick up any of the yellow or the pink while I'm ink blending, I don't think you're going to really see it. It's not going to tint it too much. And we'll just ink blend the veins in. There we go. It's not the best lined up, but it'll do. That aside, just to get it out of the way. And let's do this one. Hopefully this die cut didn't get as mangled. Oh yeah, that's much better. I'm going pretty heavy-handed, as heavy as I can go with the Forever Green. Get it as dark as I can. All right. And that's it. We're done with the stencils. We're done with ink blending. So you can put your stencils aside, clean them another day. Done with that grip mat. Okay, let's grab everything, bring it all back on screen. Oof. Okay. Believe it or not, we are on home stretch. So the next thing I want to do, oh, my fingers are inky. I'm getting pink places. Oh, well. I got a little pink on that butterfly. It's fine. The next thing we're doing is going to add some detail to the wings. I hope so too, Christopher. It is a great set. It really is. I'm going to grab a brown Copic. And what this is going to do is it's going to incorporate the brown that we have for our sentiment. I'm just going to add some details to the butterflies. Even though they have a lot of details already, I'm just gonna pop, like add some dots here and there. And this is where we really do create our banana butterflies. I think the brown is what looks like banana seeds. And the yellow, these butterflies just look like bananas. So I'm gonna start adding some dots here and there. Probably could have kept my grip mat out actually for this. Oh well. We can make do without it. This is a very dotty live, isn't it? I like to do some in the center of some of the circles. Here I am taking a lot more time than I did on that first card with the background. I'm trying to be careful and make them round and put them actually in the center. We'll do a little here. This isn't really dots on that one. Oh, it's stuck to me. Look at how pretty it looks. Oh no, I'm sorry. I hope your wife's okay, Christopher. I know this one went really fast. Jennifer featured the kit, so it went really fast. Faster than we're used to, obviously. Anything Jennifer McGuire kind of shows. As I'm sure you are all very much aware, disappears very quickly. Yeah, just keep your eye out, Christopher. They might be coming back. It might be one of the ones we come back. I would not be surprised at all if it was voted as the favorite. And vote for it, and you can vote for it yourself when it comes to that time. Chugging along here. I think in my instructions, I did this once I glued them down or adhered them to the card front. It is a little bit easier to do them now. I mean, they're small and they're sticking to me, but like they're not staying put. But if you stick them down first, they might be overlapped and it might be hard to get to some of the spots. And this is optional, of course. This is not something you have to do, but I like I said, I like how it brings in that brown, incorporates that brown. They look just like bananas. It's amazing what a little bit of little dots can do. It really takes this to another level, I think. It's very simple. Maybe a little time consuming. Oh, and I didn't show my marker. This is E77 if I didn't say earlier. It's like a pretty similar brown to the espresso ink, which is what we're going to stamp our sentiment in. All right, last little dots. All right, we've got our butterfly details added. And now I'm going to stamp our sentiment. Kind of get that done so it's easier to arrange everything. And then we'll be on home stretch. So I'm gonna grab some scrap sand. I forgot what it was called. Sand cardstock. Set that in. We're gonna grab the sentiment set. We haven't used this yet. There's a sentiment set included in the kit, full of sentiments, a bunch of them. I liked the To My Amazing Friend. So that's what I'm going to use. Place it here, pick it up. We'll stamp it in that espresso. Of question on the website. When we click learn, oh, Sid, you discovered something. When you click on learn and subscribe, it says something big is coming. What does that mean? May kit, should that be available, or maybe something I don't know? So the May kit, if you haven't already subscribed, which sounds like you haven't yet, but maybe you have. If you've already subscribed to our kit program, then you're going to be getting the May kit. If you haven't subscribed, tomorrow when we release the kit, you can purchase the kit. But that's actually not why it says something big is coming. That's because we are going to have some changes to our subscription program for June, and more information will be released on that soon. But May is pretty much normal, but you can't, since June is changing, we've removed the page where you would normally subscribe. We have it kind of like work in progress right now. That's why it says something big is coming, because we want to give you all the information for June before before you subscribe. So that's why it's different. I hope that makes sense. I hope I probably didn't explain it as best as I could, but big things are coming for June. May is going to be the same, new kit, but same process. But June's going to be a bit different. And we'll have more information about that on our website, on that page that you actually went to, Sid, but not yet. Probably in the next 2 weeks. All right, there's my To My Amazing Friends stamped out. Got it. It's a good change. I think it's a good change. I think it's a great change. I'm excited about it. All right, so I'm going to cut this out. You guys are getting all the tea today. I'm going to fussy cut this out. Not only are you going to see the May kit once I'm done with this card, which we're so close to being done, and I'll show you the teachers for the stamp along, the bundle for the stamp along, but you also got the inside scoop, a little bit of the inside scoop about the upcoming kit or upcoming subscription in June. So that's exciting. I'm going to fussy cut this out. You could kind of cut this as like a strip if you don't want to bother fussy cutting. This one would be a pretty good one for a strip. A wider strip, but it'd still be a strip. But I love the way fussy cut. I love the way it looks when it's cut close. So I'm going to take that extra time to fussy cut it. You should see the back side of this. So if you haven't noticed, the back side of this is heat embossed with the brick embossing ink or embossing powder. So it's making it a little bit trickier for me to fussy cut this. It would be easier if it was just plain on the back, but I can't, like I said, I can't waste my Hero Arts cardstock. It's too precious to me to, heat emboss something. I actually did this panel for a video kind of in teaching on how to heat emboss and showing off the different embossing powders we have. But I didn't actually turn it into a card. So I was like, I'm going to use this. I can't throw this away. I'm going to turn this into a card. I'm going to keep it and either do what I'm doing now or use it as a panel. The backside is a panel. All right, that's fussy cut out. There we go. I'm excited. It's going to be great. Okay, so there's that. Here's our other card base or other sand card base. I gotta stand up for this. It's out of reach. I need a piece of press and seal to arrange these. So let's start arranging them. Let's put a little piece of tape down to hold this. It doesn't move around on me while I arrange my butterflies. Let's do 2, why not? I'm gonna grab my original here because I have to tell you, I fussed with this and fussed with this. I don't know about you guys. I have the hardest time arranging things sometimes. So I don't want to have to think too hard. I'm just going to copy what I did. We're going to need tweezers. Grab our banana butterflies. This little guy goes here. Okay, we're getting there. They're so pretty. I just love them. And I'll put this here. And here. And I could probably do my sentiment too. It's looking pretty good. Here we go. Whew. Okay. See, they all move. That's why. Can be tricky. Oh my goodness. Maybe I shouldn't do my sentiment. I'm trying to fit it in. All right, I think that's pretty good. All right, grab my press and seal. Christopher asks, is there going to be live about changes to description? Yeah, I will walk through. We will do some talks about how the subscription program will change for sure. We'll have videos and lives and things. We'll definitely have more information. We're just not quite there yet to share, to have all the details ready to share yet. So don't worry, we will have a lot more information coming. Okay, I just don't have anything to really share with you today because that's kind of for next month. Because May right now, which is our May release, we're releasing tomorrow, so we're focusing on that. I feel like I want to tweak this a little bit. After all that, I'm going to tweak it a little bit. How does that look? I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't try to tweak. But I like that better. Okay, I'm glad I did. Right. Okay, now it's time for foam adhesive. Grab my strips. This is where the 1/8 strips I used earlier are so helpful because these butterflies are thin. I'm gonna try to connect. You see where I connected that? If I can overlap them, I'm going to, because it holds all of our die cuts together better. So I will overlap wherever I can. Not sure what this is. Oh, I know what that is. All right, we're home stretch. This foam adhesive is always the thing that takes the extra time. Let's see, I think I just have one more butterfly, and then I'm gonna add a little bit to the leaves. 2 more butterflies. Don't think I can connect that one. Yikes. I think this foam adhesive is unfortunately a little bit hard to remove the backing on now that I'm remembering. I'm really going to have to rely on my stab and grab technique. All right. Okay, I start pulling the back off on all this foam adhesive. You could just glue it down, of course, but that dimension really adds a lot. Oh. This is going to take me some time. I apologize. I forgot that this bit of foam adhesive strips is harder to remove the backing on. We're getting there. Yikes. So since I can't show you I will show you the kit. I will show you the May kit. But since the subscription part is down, you won't be able to place your order. If you like the May kit, you won't be able to place your order till tomorrow. But those who are already subscribed will get their kit. That's the advantage of subscribing. You don't have to worry about, you're guaranteed a kit. You don't have to worry about it selling out. If you're not subscribed and you wait to purchase the date it's released, it could sell out. So if you do it early, you might be able to be assured one probably. So keep that in mind. I will show you the May kit, but you won't be able to order till tomorrow morning. Yikes. And it will go live at 10, I think. Gosh, now my brain is broken. I think 10 a.m. Pacific time. Pacific. Because again, Hero Arts is based in California. So you don't have to wake up early. Which is nice. A lot of releases will be like midnight, you know. It won't be live till I believe 10 a.m. Pacific tomorrow. I can double check that too. All right, phew, got that done. Now we get to stick it down. Thank you, press and seal. Uh-oh, we lost a butterfly. We're down a butterfly. Normally I would stand to do this, but I'm gonna try to do it seated. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. Grab you, pop you back down. Oh, I love it. It turned out so pretty. Look at that dimension. It takes it up to the next level. Love it. Gorgeous. So pretty. Yay! Okay, those are 2 cards. One with the April Classic and one with the April Premium. Okay, I'm switching to, no, we're going to stay at this camera. I'm going to now show you the May kit. So this is the kit that will release tomorrow, as well as a bunch of add-ons. Yep, that last bit was, yes, you need press and seal, Beth. You really do. It's a game changer. Okay, where's the kit? Here it is. I had it out. Okay, this is the April Premium Kit. Or I mean, May Premium Kit that will be released tomorrow. I'm going to pull out the backer card first because that's a good way to see what's in it. So here's some samples. As you can see, as I mentioned earlier, it is all birthday themed for Hero Art's 50th, 50, birthday or anniversary. Yay! So here you can see some great inspirations. And the classic kit, look at all that's included in the classic kit. Now, because this is our birthday, we have a great, and we're celebrating 50 years, we have a blend of new and old and a bunch of gifts for you. So let me pull out the classic products. First up is this, let's grab some cardstock. Floral Cake Clear Stamp Set. Look at how beautiful it is. There are also, of course, 11 coordinating dies. We're doing the first 2 bullets here. Excuse me. I do want to point out too that the dies coordinate not only with the images, but also the sentiments. I love that. So that's the Floral Cake Clear Stamp Set with coordinating dies. Next, you get my favorite watercoloring paper, 6 sheets of Hero Arts Luxe White watercolor paper. I love this. It's so white, and it makes all your colors that you use so bold and beautiful. I love this watercolor paper. So you get that. And let's put that stamp set on top of that watercolor paper. And they're the half size, so they are 5.5 by 8.5. So you could get 2 A2 panels out of those. Then you have a contour ink pad, a full-size contour ink pad. These are great for no-line coloring, which actually my video that I will share on Tuesday, in the kit I do, with the May kit, I show how to, I will use this stamp set and I will do no-line coloring. So that's included. It's a really great, if you like to no-line color, it's a really great ink pad. But it's also great for kind of that tone-on-tone stamping too. You could use it kind of like how you would use, kind of how we use the sand card, the sand ink pad, because it's a very light color. Next up is the, so we're on to this bullet here, which is a water flow brush, which I'm trying to find in here. Here it is, right in front of my face. This is the flat one. I love this one. It's really cool. Let me pull it out for you. These are great for backgrounds. It is a wide, flat one, and I love this one. Great, like I said, for backgrounds. So you get that flow brush, flat water flow brush. Next up is something really unique. Or no, next up is a watercolor palette. Look at that, it's huge. I use these all the time. They're so handy to have. And this is a Hero Arts one, which is cute. It has Hero Arts on it. Probably can't see. I mean, look at all this stuff. Tons of stuff so far. And then you have, this is really unique. This is the watercolor swatch card. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with like dot watercolor cards. This is kind of like that, except they're these big squares. And I've used one already, so don't be horrified. You get two. I'm going to show you them, but one of them I've used, so it's kind of mangled. But here's one that I used for the no line watercoloring. And I colored a cake, a bunch of candles, and I still have a lot left over. So get two of these. So that's really fun. And they're pretty pigmented. They're pretty intense. So that's great. So those are the watercolor swatch cards. And then now we're on to the gifts. So you get a classic special 50th anniversary gift. Let me pull it out. I'm going to try to open it up without messing up the wrapping so much. It's wrapped up in tissue paper. Isn't that cute? Like a real present. And it's going to be a message. Let's grab my scissors here. There we go. It's a message stamp set, a clear message stamp set. I'll pull it out so you can see it a little bit better. With a bunch of birthday sentiments. Hooray, wish, birthday, hip hip. Get some confetti, a star, it's yours, wishes, happy, make a. So some great sentiments. I love how bold they are. There's also 3 coordinating dies to die cut the hooray, birthday, and wish out. And then in addition to that, you have this kind of standalone yay die. So 2 dies here. You have a die. You can see that we'll cut like a shadow layer, that outside one, and then an actual word die that die cuts yay. So really great. That's your bonus or classic special 50th anniversary gift in the classic kit. So that was just the classic kit. All of this is just the classic kit. So if you get the premium kit, there's going to be even more. So let me show you what's in the premium kit. Wrap that up. Make it all nice. I've got to show this kit again. So I'm trying to make it nice. You guys are getting the first dibs. That's everything in the classic kit. Tons of stuff. So the premium kit will get everything that you just saw and then these additional items. So you're going to get, in addition, it's all bundled up together. First up is the balloon background cling. Yay, cling. I love cling sets. They're so awesome. There's so many techniques you can do with them. And look at that one. Isn't it awesome? I love the way it looks. I love how it's got this finished edge. Sometimes with background sets, it's like a continuous, like the pattern ends kind of abruptly. I love how this has this clean edge. I guess the only thing here would be continuous is the strings down there, but I love that. It's really a great background stamp. So that's in the premium. Next up is this beautiful champagne sequins mix. Look at how pretty. You've got gold, there's white iridescent sequins and clear sequins in there. And I don't know about you guys, but I always can use some more clear sequins, and they're really pretty, crystal clear. Then there's a birthday set of enamel dots. Fun, bright colors. I love that green. I love it. And then, so just like with the classic, there was a 50th anniversary gift. With the premium, there's a premium 50th anniversary gift. And it's wrapped up. So here's that extra gift. Let's open it up here. here we have another little stamp. We have, or another sentiment stamp. We have the, try to get it out. This cute little bold yay, definitely in similar kind of font style as the clear here. There's also a coordinating die. And then you also get this congrats fancy die. Really, really cool. Again, like the yay, that was the yay word die that was included in the classic. This one has 2 dies. We have the, and an exclamation point too. It also has this shadow layer die for both the exclamation and the congrats, as well as the word die to die cut out. And this, the yay was this way, and I didn't point it out, but I will point it out here. The congrats, all the letters are connected, just like with the yay, the yay that was in here. Not this yay, the yay that was in here. Though this is connected too. You can see it. Well, maybe if it will focus. But I love it when word dies the letters are connected. So when a die cuts out, you're not like, you don't have all these letters just loose floating around. It's actually one die cut, all connected. I love that. It just makes it so much easier to work with. And all the sentiments are that way, all of them. These here, these and here, including the stamp, these ones here, the stamps. These hooray, birthday, all of them are all connected to the letters so that you don't have all these loose letters floating around, right? You guys know, that's a pain, right? But awesome. So that's the whole May kit. Isn't that incredible? Tons and tons of products. I'm going to try to wrap up my, pop my little, the gifts here, the 50th special 50th anniversary gift in there. And I'm going to show you guys, in addition to the May kit, so this releases tomorrow. Again, let me check the time. Super duper quick. I think I can do that quickly for you guys so you know exactly when it goes live. I'm pulling it up here real quick, trying to do it real quick. Here it is. Yep, 10 a.m. I was right. Okay, good. 10 a.m. Pacific. So that's 1 p.m. Eastern is when the release, the May release, including this kit, will go live. And the next thing I'm going to show you, I'll put this away better later. I'll do that better later. The next thing I want to talk about, which is also releasing tomorrow, is it tomorrow? Maybe it's the 5th. Oh, shoot. Maybe it's the 6th. But I'm going to share with you anyways. Oh, tomorrow is the 6th. Duh. Yeah. So also releasing tomorrow, guys. Oh, I'm losing my mind. Also releasing tomorrow is the stamp along, the summer stamp along. If you took spring stamp along, we hinted, I'm going to pop, we're just going to remove this here. There we go. So also releasing tomorrow is the summer stamp along. If you took the spring stamp along, we hinted the summer is coming along and that the summer is themed to celebrate Hero Art's birthday. And I wanted to show you guys the teachers that we have lined up for our summer stamp along. The stamp along will be April 13th. I'm going to double check the second day. It's 2 days, but it's really, all the classes will be 1 day. But we have a fun kind of party event happening the Friday. And it will be, did I say April? It's not April, obviously. It's July 13th and 14th. Okay, just wanted to double check, sorry. So July 13th and 14th, we'll have all the information coming out tomorrow, but you're getting a little heads up right now, or a little sneak peek of what's coming tomorrow for the summer stamp along. First of that being, I'm going to share with you the teachers because it's such a good lineup. I can't wait. Let me put over. Here we go. So here are the teachers. We have Kathy Zelski, myself, Jennifer McGuire, Christina Werner, Laura Basson, and Sika. Isn't that amazing? Oh my gosh, these teachers are awesome. Our teachers are always so awesome, but I love these ones. These have a long history kind of with Hero Arts, so this is really great for them to be joining us for the 50th, our kind of stamp along that's really connected or highlighting our 50th anniversary. So a great lineup of teachers. There you can see, oh, the date says the 12th of the, did I say? Oh, it is the 12th through the 13th. Geez, guys. Yeah, look at the graphic. Don't listen to me. Look at the graphic. It's July 12th, which is Friday, and then to July 13th, which is the Saturday, which will have all of the actual classes. So really great lineup. And let me show you you can't sign up till tomorrow. That's why you're getting a little precursor. Tomorrow they'll actually open where you can sign up. And here's the bundle. So really great bundle. You're seeing actually some things that are releasing tomorrow. So some of these products you'll see tomorrow in our May release. So you might just want to keep that in mind as you're looking through the products for the May release. Maybe you want to purchase the bundle if you're leaning towards getting several of these products already. The bundle will include, this is different. The bundle this time will actually include admission into the summer stamp along. But again, you do not have to purchase the bundle to participate in the summer stamp along. You can also just purchase admission into the summer stamp along and use whatever products you want to use. And I will do a whole live helping you kind of figure out substitutes for the products that we're using the bundle. So you do not have to purchase the bundle to join the summer stamp along. We do highly encourage you to actually use what you already have. We really like to see how you take the techniques that the teachers share and make it your own with what you already own. So don't feel like you have to purchase the bundle. But if you do think you're going to get some of the products in the May release tomorrow, some of them are included in the bundle. So I just wanted to highlight that or emphasize that. All right, I think that's everything I wanted to show you. Yep, I showed you the stamp along bundle. I showed you the teachers for the stamp along. And I also shared with you the May kits. All right, guys, more information on all of those things, the May release, the May kit, the summer stamp along will all be coming out tomorrow. I'm going to pop over to the questions real quick and see if there's any questions. Yay, I'm glad you never missed the stamp along. Oh, you get the bundles. Yeah, the bundles are great value too. They are. There's a lot you could see in that bundle. We had paper, products, and oh my gosh, I'm going to go back to the bundle real quick because I do want to point out something that we've never done before and we're doing in this bundle. There's an exclusive stamp and cut in this bundle that's only going to be available with the bundle for a while. I think eventually it might be released on its own, but there is a stamp and cut. You see that Celebrate and Party? That's an exclusive stamp and cut, it's exclusive product to the bundle. There's also Hero Wax, enamel dots, iridescent, embossing powder, a transfer sheet or Hero transfers. There's always 2 sheets in the transfers. A awesome balloon die, that Celebrate Party, stamp and cut, a stencil, a cling background, beautiful floral stamp set, and you can see 2 holographic paper sheets and a bunch of colored cardstock. So a lot in the bundle. There we go. I'm going to go back to the comments, see if there's any questions. If you have any questions about, I'll do my best to answer. Again, more information will be coming out tomorrow. The stamp along admission and bundle will become available tomorrow, as well as the May kit. All right, guys, that was a lot of information and a very long make along. Thank you guys so much for spending some of your Sunday with me. I hope you're excited. The tomorrow release is going to be awesome. Definitely check out the blog hop. There'll be videos shared and more to come this week as well. I'll be doing a May release spotlight live on Tuesday. So I will go through and show a bunch of samples of the May release as well as the kit. So the first part I will show the kit again, but I'll also share a bunch of card samples, and I will share with you all of the additional May products, which I didn't share in this live. I didn't share with you the add-ons, and I'll show that in the spotlight, which is there's already a live created, and you'll see that as upcoming. If you're on our YouTube channel or on our Facebook, you'll see that as an upcoming event. And that will be Tuesday. So I hope I see you guys there. I hope I see you dropping some comments tomorrow at the blog hop. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Thank you guys so much. See you soon.